Hello and welcome to another edition of, Worn and Wound Reacts. We have a new release today that we wanted to immediately get in front of you and react to. Something new from Omega and Swatch. This is another MoonSwatch, everybody. We saw 11 of them last year and it had caused quite the hullabaloo. I don't know what you'd call it, but it was something. And it was kind of a...
Frenzy? The frenzy?
Yeah. I was going to use
the mania.
The S-word show. It definitely
was that last year?
Was last year. So,
it was right around now because remember it was right before Watches and Wonders last year.
Wow, that feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's been a year. We've got a mission to move. This is a 12th. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. It's not really a part of this is a separate release from the initial 11. This is a mission to Moonshine Gold, I believe, is the official name of this watch. It looks to be built on the base of the Mission to the Moon watch with the kind of gray and black undertones. But it's a little different. This has the timing seconds hand is rendered in Moonshine, which is, of course, Omega's proprietary gold, which is a very lovely gold. I think we're all big fans of it as it's been used in some of their other watches, from the Speedmaster to the Seamaster. So here it's relegated to just the timing seconds hand. And now it's called the Mission to Moonshine. There's a few interesting details about this watch, but before we get to those, what are your feelings on this watch as a whole?
Gut reaction?
Give it to us. Yeah.
Right.
Boring.
Boring. Okay.
Boring. Yeah, that's my gut. I really wanted a whole dial, like a Moonshine gold dial, even if it was just plated. Just a pop of that gold. Yeah.
I mean, you have a pop. There's a touch, a strand, a flake, perhaps, or something of gold. I mean, I don't dislike conceptually a gold secondhand, or even that it's made out of Moonshine gold in the environment of the MoonSwatch, where everything else is, the same affordable watch. Otherwise, that I don't mind at all. But like the lead up, the delivery, the fact that it isn't more of a thing. This could have. There needed to be no countdown for this. This is a little bit of a watch brand that cried wolf sort of situation here, where I feel like they're gonna get lesser response each time they do something, because, well, if it's just a plated secondhand, don't bother me, please, to this extent.
I think the bigger story here, the bigger thing that people are going to be reacting to, is how to get it. So this is only available in 4 cities: London, Milan, Tokyo,
Zurich,
and Zurich. That's right. So, and it will only apparently be available today. So I think that's the real kind of thing that people are reacting to.
And that's it.
So I can't imagine any of these actually being like unwrapped from their boxes and worn ever. Are all of these going to be bought and put immediately on the secondhand market? Which is kind of a bummer. That kind of loses that like fun appeal of the original one because it's like this. So Ricardo just came over and handed me the Mission to Moon, which I will say is quite sharp. I like this execution. Well, this is the original Mission to Moon. Okay, and he's got it on these great straps. So I like this execution of the watch. I have no problem with the gold seconds hand. It's really just the kind of how they're treating the release is kind of strange to me. And that's not all. Like this is a watch that was made, they claim, on the full moon that we experienced in February, which was February 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what kind of logistics are required to get like production of a watch all to happen in a single day. I can't imagine.
So the whole watch was assembled, or is it just that these hands were stamped or whatever they are?
I think it was just the hands. It was just the just the second hand.
Yeah,
just the second.
It's produced under a full moon.
Who cares? I think this is the question there. Like, what?
That's.
I just don't buy
I don't
it.
mind brands having like fun with that. That's kind of like a thing that the forum people will talk about for a long time. And in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's one of those details was, did you know? it'll be like one of those
and then
facts that you can
you'll tell somebody at a bar somewhere and be like, "Oh, nice watch." You're like, "Did you know this hand was made under full moon?" They'll be like, "That's okay, cool."
Like,
I don't know. It gets a little into like an astrology there for me. It's a little bit like maybe like the gold shines a little brighter because of the magnetism of the moon or something. That I made that all up. Please don't quote me there.
Yeah.
It's all silly. I mean, I feel like if anything, what this makes me think is that the original MoonSwatch Moon should have had a gold second hand to tie it into the fact that it is like sort of the closest in some ways to the original Speedmaster and to the Speedmaster story, obviously going to the moon. I mean, it highlights that watch. But yeah, I mean, the over even more so than what I said before, that, the kind of like the lead up to this and then the delivery of being something of kind of not that interesting ultimately. But the release of 4 cities, none of which are in the US, on a single day, plays into what was the worst part of the original launch, unfortunately, which is the fact that you couldn't get it. The unavailability of it. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like, that's just the wrong approach. It's celebrating the wrong side of the MoonSwatch. The wrong side of the MoonSwatch.
The wrong side of the MoonSwatch. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, people have droned on and on and on about how to get one of these, and for the most part, I think that they're still not the easiest to get. Even the other MoonSwatches, I think they're more available now, but still difficult, especially if you're looking for a specific one. And I don't like that they played into more exclusivity with this launch and a single day. I just think is just ridiculous and not worth it in my opinion.
So I think there is a way that they could have approached this that I would have appreciated it a little bit more. And I think if they had, at the same time as that they started teasing this Moonshine, if they had made all of the other 11 available online for purchase and said, we're going to start doing maybe some of these more fun, like strange limited edition drops all over the world at random times, like throughout the year. This is just the first of many. And then you'd have known, like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of these kind of things, and it's going to be a fun thing to follow along with. And all the originals are like finally available online. Then I think it would have been kind of a fun concept to follow along with, instead of, oh boy, here we go again. This is going to be another like just kind of ridiculous release that nobody's going to be able to get access to. And again, for all the wrong reasons that we've gone over. But I think, I have no problem with them doing kind of fun, silly things. And maybe each one of them would have like weird little Easter eggs, like the built in the moon thing. And if they would have said that on the onset, we're going to do one of these a month or something. And they're going to be in like various cities all across the world, so don't worry if you don't live in one of these cities.
Yeah.
I think that would have been at least something to like get more people excited about and not immediately be like, oh, geez, it's kind of a crappy thing,
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I'm really sad to see the US missing from this list. And I think even Australia too. Australia was a big market for these last year. And I would say the US as well. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sad.
And the cities have like a tie to gold, which is some funny thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, how many more cities have ties to gold? I'm sure that shouldn't be exactly your cutoff. I mean, I'm reminded of, I'm trying to write up the joke for my weekend watches about this, but the Die Hard 3 line where they're like, it's like Fort Knox, whatever the kid says or something. I mean, like, right? They robbed the gold underneath the city. Right?
So, yeah.
That would have been another fun element. What if the fifth city was Fort Knox?
Fort Knox, yeah.
Tennessee. Like some totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Random,
or they made this like a geocache kind of a thing, and they give you coordinates. You got to find the vault, crack into the vault.
That could be interesting.
It's like mobs of people.
Something more approachable, accessible, because like, could you get more like kind of elite cities like on the planet?
Yeah.
That I think that would have added another element of kind of like, okay, we're not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah. I mean, even Geneva's pissed off right now. They're like, Zürich, come on.
Yeah.
No offense, Geneva.
I mean, do we think that they're going to do another the next full moon and sort of kind of start piecing these limited, well, not really limited editions, but limited availability, I guess, models.
And if you collect them all, you can disassemble them and take all the gold pieces out and put together.
Make a full moon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That'd be fun.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think these are going to start selling for in the secondhand market? Any guesses?
I mean, today at least over 1,000. No doubt.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, I think they've been coy about the quantity But obviously, given the limitations, I think that suggests there's probably like a few hundred of them globally right now, something like that at tops. So yeah, these are going to ask probably the most of any of the moon swatches, but I kind of wonder if the market will be there for it.
Yeah, that's the real question. Are people kind of over this, the moon swatch in general, because of all the shenanigans around it? So there was one that went up on eBay. However, the seller, it looks like they removed it from an error listing, but it was listed for approximately about $1,400.
Oh my gosh.
So I feel like that might set the bar for where these things are going.
Keep an eye on StockX.
Is the market there? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, if they're doing that, do any of these make it out of their box even?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think for the most part, most people aren't going, unless you're like, you really buy it because you just want to wear it all the time. But
we'll see some at Watches and Wonders. We'll see a few on this, I'm sure.
It's going to be the new flex, right?
Yeah.
I have one of these and I'm wearing it around.
Well, because last year they were so rare. I remember we saw a handful of like Mission to Mars at the event, but like 5, there were more of those MB&F Mad 1 or the Mad 1 watches than Moon swatches at Watches and Wonders last year.
Yeah, but like the Mad 1, it's kind of like signaling that I'm somebody, I have connections, it's kind of, it's that flex, amongst other watch people at least.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'm on Watch Recon right now, and like the prices for the previous moon swatches are sitting around like $50 over retail. So, I mean, it's not that high anymore. So I just wonder, like, over time, will this one eventually come back down? Obviously the hype right now is going to be super high, but we'll see.
It's that Moonshine hand, though. I think sealed examples, I think people will hold for like the long term, and like, whether that means anything ultimately to anybody.
Maybe in 50 years.
Maybe in 50 years. Check back.
On the full moon in 50 years. This will reach peak.
Yeah. So I hope that they do a bunch more of these and that they'd make them kind of a fun thing and have them in places other than Milan and London.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. I enjoy it. Like, I think these are fun and great. I just want people to be able to actually wear them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I will say, and I've seen a couple of people comment this, that the idea of the Moonshine timing seconds hand, I think would be pretty cool on the steel Speedmaster Professional.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of a neat little detail on an LE of some sort. I don't know. But it looks sharp, and I like Moonshine gold.
Gold?
Yeah. Gold. Yeah. All right. So that is the Omega MoonSwatch Mission to Moonshine Gold. I think I got all that right.
Not the Moonshine MoonSwatch, which is actually hard to say. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Moonshine MoonSwatch.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this release? We're keen to hear them. We have more details on this watch now live on More Than Wound, so go check that out. And until the next crazy release that we're all going to react to, thanks for tuning in to this episode, and take care.